Law 12 is broken down into two parts, fouls and misconduct. For the moment, we're going to focus on fouls exclusively. Once we get through the fouls portion of Law 12 breaks down the infractions that players can commit that result in one of three possible restarts: direct free kicks, indirect free kicks, and penalty kicks. In truth, there are only two types of fouls that players commit: direct free kick fouls, kick fouls. Penalty kicks, as we will cover in the future, result from direct free kick fouls that are committed by a particular player on a particular part of the field. There are 10 possible direct free kick offenses, but before we cover them, we have to set down some rules for when a direct free kick offense can take place. 4 factors must be present for a direct free kick offense to result in a direct free kick. 1. The infraction has to be committed by a player, not a substitute, a member of the team staff, a spectator, or anybody else. It must be one of the 11 players on the field. 2. The infraction must be committed against an opposing player, not a substitute, not an opposing substitute, not a member of either team's coaching staff, not the referee, not an assistant referee, or even a player from the guilty player's own team. 3. The infraction must occur while the ball is in play. If the ball is out of play and something that appears to be a direct free kick infraction occurs, the resulting restart is whatever the restart was to begin with. The apparent offense does not change the restart. 4. The infraction must occur on the field of play for a direct free kick to be awarded. A player may be guilty of what appears to be a direct free kick offense against an opposing player with the ball in play. But if the victim of the infraction is off the field of play, such as being treated for an injury, we cannot restart the game with a direct free kick offense. We're going to revisit these 4 items once again when we cover the direct free kick offenses, but this is an essential concept to keep in mind when officiating soccer. Never forget these 4 requirements when you're calling a foul. We now know what 4 conditions must be present in order to award a direct free kick for an offense. So now we need to know what the 10 direct free kick offenses are. Each can be associated with a part of the body. Using the stickman on the screen, they are tripping with the foot, kicking with the foot, jumping at with the legs, pushing with the arms, holding with the arms and hands, striking with the arms, hands, or head, handling with the arm or hand, spitting with the mouth, charging with the body, and tackling with the leg or body. I'm sure you're looking at some of these questions and having a little bit of confusion. For example, isn't tackling part of soccer? Well, yes. So let's take a look at these 10 offenses a bit more closely. First of all, when looking at the 10 direct free kick offenses, you will notice a running theme with 9 out of the 10. With the exception of handling the ball, all of the direct free kick offenses involve contact by a player against an opponent. Tripping, kicking, jumping at, pushing, holding, striking, spitting, charging, and tackling will all involve physical contact between 2 players from opposing teams. This is an extremely useful tool to help you learn how to restart from a foul that you have called. Because if that foul involved contact, it's a direct free kick, plain and simple. The one exception to this is the handling offense, which is called when any non-goalkeeper handles the ball, or if any goalkeeper handles the ball outside of the penalty area. In this foul, the guilty player is making contact with the ball in an illegal manner. So we have to throw you that one exception to keep in mind. Handling does not involve contact between players, but it does result in a direct free kick. Of the 10 direct free kick offenses, 7 of them must be committed in what is defined as FIFA in a manner as being careless, reckless, or involving excessive force. They are tripping, kicking, jumping at, pushing, charging, striking, and tackling. This qualifier is important on 2 levels. First, it means that sometimes a player can, for example, push, and it may not be an offense if it's not careless, reckless, or involves excessive force. The manner in which the action is conducted is important. Second, These levels defined by FIFA fit into the description for whether a foul may be just a foul, a caution for unsporting behavior, or a send-off for serious foul play. For example, you can have a clean tackle, a careless tackle that would be a simple foul and direct free kick, a reckless tackle that is a foul, direct free kick, and yellow card, or a tackle that involves excessive force that is a foul, direct free kick, and a red card. The remaining 3 direct free kick offenses, holding, spitting, and handling, are offenses every time they happen. They do not need to be done in a manner that is careless, reckless, or involves excessive force. The fact that they were committed makes them an offense regardless of the manner in which they were committed. I'm sure you're probably thinking to yourself about now, well, how do I know when a trip is careless? Or how do I know when to call a handling offense? We'll be covering the concepts of foul recognition quite extensively in the classroom as we learn to apply Law 12 and other laws using an extensive amount of video material. The key things to remember from this slide: 1. 7 of the 10 direct free kick offenses must be done in a manner that is careless, reckless, or involving excessive force. 2. The remaining 3 direct free kick offenses are always fouls, no matter how they are executed. And 3. With the exception of handling, all of the direct free kick offenses involve physical contact by a player against an opponent. In addition to the 10 direct free kick offenses, the laws of the game list 8 indirect free kick offenses. Unlike the 10 direct free kick offenses, indirect free kick offenses are not always committed against an opponent or necessarily are on the field of play. However, the 8 indirect free kick offenses still have to be committed by a player, not a substitute. Furthermore, while many of the direct free kick offenses seem to be possible with the ball out of play, though as we've discussed, a direct free kick may not be granted when the ball is not in play, we are about to see that the language and wording of the 8 indirect free kick offenses make it impossible for any of them to occur when the ball is out of play. There are subtle differences with the direct free kick offenses. There are 4 indirect free kick offenses that can be committed by a goalkeeper handling the ball within his or her own penalty area. Remember, goalkeepers are permitted to handle the ball within the penalty area, so these cannot be direct free kick offenses. In these 4 situations, the goalkeeper is prohibited from handling the ball within the penalty area due to specific circumstances. They are receiving the ball from a teammate that has kicked it to the goalkeeper, receiving the ball directly from a teammate's throw-in, releasing the ball from the hands and then picking it up again without a touch by another player, and holding the ball in the hands for longer than 6 seconds. There are also 4 indirect free kick infractions that can be committed by any player, including the goalkeeper, anywhere on the field. These are playing in a dangerous manner, impeding an opponent from playing the ball, preventing the goalkeeper from releasing the ball back into play from his or her hands, and lastly, when play is stopped to administer misconduct, a card, for a reason that is not a direct free kick offense. For instance, if a referee halts play to give a yellow card to a player for dissent. We will cover each of these in a bit more depth in the classroom, but briefly you will notice that one of the key features to easily differentiate indirect free kick offenses from direct free kick offenses is that indirect free kick offenses do not involve contact between players from opposing teams. Impeding and playing in a dangerous manner do not involve actual contact. Impeding involves preventing an opponent from challenging for the ball without making contact, because actual contact would be pushing, charging, or holding. While playing in a dangerous manner involves no player-to-player contact, only the threat of it. The 4 goalkeeper handling infractions clearly do not involve player-to-player contact, nor does an outfield player preventing the goalkeeper from releasing the ball back into play. While halting play to administer a card often does involve contact on a direct free kick offense, meaning it was committed by a player against an opponent on the field while the ball is in play, in those cases the restart would be a direct free kick. If you halt play solely to administer a card for a non-contact offense, the restart would be an indirect free kick. Also, we need to point out that the indirect free kick offense from a card only happens if the individual being carded is a rostered player. It should be logical, considering that we cannot issue cards to team officials or outside agents such as spectators. But if we are stopping play to deal with a non-rostered player, even with discipline such as dismissing a coach for irresponsible behavior, the restart would be a dropped ball, not an indirect free kick. Now you have an idea of how infractions are defined and the restart that results